Hello, beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It's a bone-chilling day here in the far north of Maine, up along the Canadian border in the Corona, Maine. We got down to 24 degrees last night. When I went outside this morning, it's mid-morning. Everything's still frozen. The ground is frozen. We still have ice puddles in the dooryard. Nothing is thawing out. The water troughs were froze solid. I had a little extra work to do out in the barn this morning. And we have Jacqueline Nunez to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, the state of Rhode Island has shut down the Conjuring house. They shuttered the doors. She's no longer able to operate the venue. From what it's understood by some people, there has still been things going on at the Conjuring house. I don't know if it's true or not. I do know that the website, the .com, is still up. And it is still booking for tours. So she's not just, none of that is supposed to be existing right now. But, as with anything, Jacqueline Nunez is above the law. The laws do not apply to her. You see, on October 22nd, the Department of Labor and Training in Rhode Island discovered that Jacqueline was operating without workman's compensation insurance. Now, if you have one or more employee, you are supposed to carry workman's compensation insurance. They ordered the Conjuring house to immediately suspend its operations until it provides proof of workers' compensation insurance. This stop order named both Jacqueline Nunez personally as well as BALE LLC, which is what she operates, the company she operates the Conjuring house under. Jacqueline Nunez promptly told the Providence Journal that she doesn't need workman's compensation insurance. She's the only business in Rhode Island that doesn't need it. Everybody else, you have to play by the rules, but not our friend Jacqueline Nunez. So there is a suit that was filed in Workman's Compensation Court, and the pretrial hearing is November 26th. We'll see how that turns out. You see, I think Rhode Island runs much the way Maine does. If you are a business owner and you have one or more employees, you have to carry workman's compensation insurance in case your employees get hurt on the job. If you are a sole proprietor and you are the only employee, you do not have to carry workers' compensation insurance in the state of Maine, but you do have to fill out a 50,000-page application and send it to the state, and it is called the Workman's Compensation Insurance Waiver. And the state makes the determination. So Jacqueline is operating, her .coms are still up. She is operating a business for which the state of Rhode Island has stopped operations for. Now, on October 23rd, Jacqueline Nunez was notified by the Burrillville Police Chief, Colonel Stephen J. Lynch, that he was not going to allow her. He had rejected her online application for renewal of her entertainment license. So the state closed her down. The police chief in Burrillville said that it's a no-go. We did not know about the Department of Labor shutting Jacqueline Nunez down. We did know that the police chief in Burrillville was not, had rejected her online application. We also were all under the impression that she could correct that application and it would go to the town council. And on November 18th, that's this coming Monday, the town council of Burrillville finalizes all the renewals of business licenses for the town of Burrillville. So we were all left under the impression that Jacqueline Nunez could refile online. She had until November 1st to do that, and that it would be reviewed on November 18th. But apparently that's not going to be the case because the state of Rhode Island shut her down on October 22nd. Now, it was after all that jazz that Jacqueline Nunez was arrested for drunk driving, which again was not Jacqueline Nunez's fault, according to Jacqueline Nunez. Jacqueline says she did go to a bar and she did have 3 drinks. The police pulled her over after a high-speed chase, pulled her over at gunpoint. We do have the raw body cam footage on our last video. I will link it in the description box below. We have a whole Conjuring House drama playlist. So if you think you missed something, go on over to our playlist and you can watch all the episodes that we have done on the Conjuring House. I think we're pushing close to episode 12 or 13 at this point. Jacqueline Nunez took the Burrillville Police Department on a high-speed chase through the town of Burrillville. She almost hit another vehicle head-on before pulling over. She was removed from the car at gunpoint. She was driving her unregistered Lexus. She was asked to submit to a breathalyzer, which she denied, which automatically suspended her driver's license for 1 year. In the state of Rhode Island. She was asked to do the sobriety test on the side of the road, the field test, which she failed miserably. She ended up doing gymnastics on the side of the road. She was very rude to the officers. She was belligerent. At one point, she got a little heated. They arrested her. They brought her to the Who's Cow. They put her in the drunk tank, where at some point she proceeded to bang on the door while in the drunk tank so fiercely that they restrained her. They shackled her ankle to the bed for her own protection. Now, Jacqueline Nunez gave statements to the Providence Journal, the Boston Globe, WPRI-TV, Fox 59 that, yes, she did consume 3 alcoholic beverages. But the reason why she ran from the police was because she was afraid of what they would do to her. They're mean to her, you know. She also claims that during the arrest, she was not even offered a breathalyzer, which you can see on the body cam footage that that's a complete and total lie. Then she claims she was unjustly shackled by the ankle to her bed while in the Who's Cow in the drunk tank. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, Jacqueline Nunez has many problems. We have heard from a former employee, Tara, that Jacqueline Nunez was diagnosed with a mental illness. We don't know what mental illness that is. Tara does say in an online interview that she was Jacqueline's caregiver. Jacqueline subsequently fired her because Jacqueline said she stole $60,000. But at the time, she was making sure that Jacqueline was eating, that she had clean clothes, that the housekeeping was being done. She stated that she stayed overnights with Jacqueline and that she was never afraid of Jacqueline or Jacqueline's behavior. We know now, it's absolutely confirmed by the drunk driving arrest, that Jacqueline has a substance abuse problem and her drug of choice is alcohol. And I have zero toleration for people who drive drunk. Her drunk driving pre-trial conference is set for December 17th in the district court in Providence. Jacqueline continues to harass, malign, berate, belittle, victimize her former employees and Jason Hawes. Jacqueline is a danger to the general public. We have seen and heard video and audio footage. We have a video on the Scott Kitzlar's event that happened at the Conjuring house. I will link that in the video in the description box below as well. Scott Kitzlar's, in case you don't know, and his wife paid $1,089 to investigate the Conjuring house overnight. That particular night, their video cameras were set up, they had audio going, and Jacqueline came in and ranted and raved. It was the first time the general public actually got to see Jacqueline do her thing in public. Thankfully, Scott Kitzlar's and his wife left the Conjuring house without any bodily injury. Scott did comment on that video, and we've had a little exchange back and forth in the comment section. And Scott just wants everybody to know how dangerous it is to go to the Conjuring house. It's a public safety issue. Jacqueline Nunez has become a public safety issue. She was a public safety issue in July to her former employees. She was a public safety issue to the general public on her drunk driving arrest night. She was a public safety issue to guests going to the Conjuring house, such as Scott Kitzlar's and his wife did. And thank God they got the footage to expose what Jacqueline Nunez is putting people through. What I'm hoping is that now that this is really filtering into the court system, I am hoping that Jacqueline Nunez is ordered to get the help that she needs. She's not going to stop. Even in the last order with the state of Rhode Island telling her to suspend all her operations, she doesn't feel she needs to. Jacqueline Nunez feels she's above the law. We need to have empathy and compassion for people with mental illness. We can have empathy and compassion for people who have substance abuse issues. But at some point, authority needs to step in. And people with mental illness and people with substance abuse problems that break the law need to pay for the crimes that they are committing. It's not a free ride. Jacqueline Nunez appears to need mental help. She appears to need substance abuse help, but she cannot be exonerated for the things that she has done, even if she is mentally ill and has substance abuse issues. Somebody needs to stand up and order Jacqueline the help that she needs, and I am really hoping that on December 17th, the district court in Providence, the judge orders her to receive that help. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, be the kindness that you want to see in the world, and Carpe Diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.